welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2013. You're thinking to yourself, wow, this sounds a little different. That's because we are at Denver Comic Con right now, and we had a great time this year. I'm Ryan. This is James. I guess you can talk now because there's no one else on the mic. Say, James, say hi.
Hi, James.
What's up?
You're talking to James, and you're looking at me.
I know.
I'm Brad.
Brad. And we are joined by superfan Cora.
Hello.
And Michael.
Hi.
If you've never listened to the Real Nerds Podcast, of course, every week we go see a new movie, and we broadcast this experience to the world. This week we saw Now You See Me. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
It's about magic.
It is. You know the best way to listen to Real Nerds Podcast, Cora?
Is through tweaked audio earbuds.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Log on to tweakedaudio.com. Enter in Real Nerds. Get a third off your whole order. So there's many ways to get in touch with us. Like us on Facebook. Tweet us at Real_Nerds. Call us 720-6Nerds5. And you can also leave us a message on our website, realnerdspodcast.com. Lots of stuff going on. I would say we have, we usually open with fan mail. But the fan mail I got this week, play that funky music, Brad. Fan mail! The fan mail we got was really nothing.
Yeah.
Except
for all of the many people who came up to the booth and were like, I've been listening to you guys for forever.
Yeah, that was the fan mail for us. But me and Cora were tweeting each other before the Will Wheaton and Felicia Day panel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because she didn't know if she was going to get in.
Oh, no.
There was a really long line.
There was.
And the panel, I don't even think they filled all of the seats. And there were a lot of people in line.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it got started so late.
Goes to show you just how much bigger it is this year. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that they had a room that big that many people could fit in, and then that wasn't even full. It's huge. It's 3 times what it was last year, at least.
Easy.
They hit max at like 50,000 people, something like that. It's insane.
It's really crazy.
Everybody seems to be having a really good time. All the artists we've talked to are like, I totally want to be back next year. It's so fun here. They keep talking about how nice everybody in Denver is. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think we've played well.
Instead of doing a fan section, because we didn't get too much because unfortunately we were really busy this week. But I was going to talk to everybody about their Denver Comic Con experience 2013. Me personally, when the first person who comes to your booth whilst you're setting it up says, "Oh my God, I love the Real Nerds. Can I geek out and get your autograph?" You do a mic drop if I was holding a mic. I'm like, why do you want an autograph from me? I'm a nobody.
Yeah.
It was quite a surreal expence.
That's epic.
Shout out to Joe in Florida.
Joe in Florida.
Who we did an interview with. He was so nice.
Yeah, I honestly could not believe it. Thank you.
A really quick thank you to all of the volunteer people.
Yes.
No. They called us low maintenance. We asked for so much shit from them.
Yes.
And they were like, you guys again. No, I know.
Thank you. Yeah.
They're fantastic.
So the first person says they love your show. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you don't try to stroke your ego too much, but you say, wow, I have a voice, and people enjoy it.
It makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
It does.
Well, and it's cool because, sometimes, weeks like this where we didn't get any emails or anything like that, there are times when you think, is anybody actually listening?
Yeah.
Which, thinking no one listens is kind of what makes it so easy for us to just, shoot the shit and not give a damn about what we're actually doing, which is what makes it fun.
Yeah.
But you come to these things and you meet people and you're like, holy shit, that, for every Joe from Florida who happens to be in Denver this weekend and come to this convention, there are how many people who aren't in Denver and didn't get to this convention and and didn't come by and see us. He's not the only one out there.
No,
there's somebody out there. One or two.
And two, when you have people that say, "I've been listening to you since last Denver Comic Con," oh man. Still listening to our show, can still cool. Say things we've been saying on the show.
Yeah,
it's just awesome.
I had a guy show me his phone, James. We interviewed him too. Show me his phone and say oh look, see these are the episodes I just so great.
And then they picked me to do the most epic panels. I'm like, what am I? Who am I? And I said that before the Will Wheaton and Felicia Day panel. I'm like, I don't know who likes me here, but I don't. I did the Phil Lamar panel. I did Aaron Gray. It's so cool. And Claire Kramer. Hey, by the way, all people from Buffy smell amazing.
Apparently. Yeah.
It's great. And I had to, one of my personal highlights that was kind of fun is before the Phil Lamar panel, he was running late. So they asked me to go up there and do filler. And I got booed twice.
Nice.
And cheered. Not like a real boo. They're just being silly because I told them I was going to sing and dance for them, so they cheered. And then I said, I'm just kidding. I don't sing and dance. You think I can sing and dance? And then they booed. And then I did the Running Man, and they cheered again. And I said I can do impressions. And I did a Chris Farley of him in a coffin. And they booed, and then Phil Lamar booed and came up on stage. So I thought that was a great introduction to Phil Lamar.
What I thought was really great was we were all three of us were on a panel about podcasting today, and there was a guy who came up afterwards, and he comes up to Ryan and he was like, you look like a comedian, and Ryan's like, oh, fuck. And sure enough, he's like, Chris Farley, you look like Chris Farley. And
I said, who?
time.
John Candy?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys tell us
snap.
why don't you guys tell us the coolest things that you experienced at the con?
I was getting there, Brad. Don't look at me like I'm an asshole. He's looking at me, he's like, yeah.
Why don't we make it about Corey? It's Corey's
Yeah.
I can make this much worse for you.
Anyways, go ahead.
So I think the coolest thing that we got to do today on Sunday was we got the William Shatner passes, and we
Nice.
got to go to the panel where he was kind of old and rambled about everything.
But we could listen to him forever.
But it was great. He's a great storyteller. And then we got a picture with him. And then got him to sign the picture and got him to sign a poster of the original series cast. So that was pretty
Wow.
badass. Yesterday, we found ourselves at an improv show. Go ahead.
It had Felicia Day and Phil Lamar, and it was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, but that was hilarious.
Yeah.
They were great, just randomly at an improv show, just throwing comedy together.
That was pretty cool.
Where was that at?
Was this at the con?
It was, I guess it was organized by, like, Sandeep's
Folks?
improv troupe, I guess, which Felicia Day is a part of, and then Phil Lamar just jumped on board with.
Nice.
And they sold tickets through brown paper tickets, and we just happened to, like, be there to get the last two seats because we
Wow.
had a friend who had tickets, and he's like, oh, just show up and see if they have empty seats. And so we were drinking at Wincoop, which is upstairs, and then we went downstairs and we got the last two seats, and so that was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
An impromptu thing we got to do yesterday, but it's been great. We've gotten to see all the cool cosplay, and the panels were great. We went to the Will Wheaton panel yesterday, and then the Will Wheaton and Felicia Day panel today, and he's just great for inspiring words for nerds.
Mm-hmm.
He had questions at both
Yeah.
panels of kids who were like, my parents don't understand me, or when I'm in school I get picked on, and he was so inspirational with what he had to say about that. He's like, well, if your parents don't understand you, sit down with them and tell them that, and see what they like, and see if you can find a game that fits their interests that you want to play, or a book that you've read that you think your dad would like, or something like that. And it was just awesome. It was awesome.
That's so
He
cool.
drove Cora to tears.
Yeah, I did.
Twice?
I cried.
Both
Oh,
times?
man.
Just the first time, because my parents are super cool and they totally understand my nerdness. But it was awesome.
And
That's awesome.
And I love that you guys are on the show right now.
Yeah, it was so great having
Yeah.
you guys here.
Yeah, and wearing our shirts. We
Oh
love
yeah,
you guys. We love
I've been
you
wearing
guys.
your shirt all day. It's been great.
Yeah, we appreciate it so much. Brad, what are you taking from this Comic-Con?
I didn't get to enjoy a lot of it. I sat here behind the booth and just glad-handed with people and explained what we do, and that's what I'm going to take away from it is like meeting all these people. And we got a ton of interviews this year. We tried video interviews this year. It was just an incredible experience, like doing this again. It's much more hectic and crazy, and it feels like 2 hours over 3 days.
Yeah, today when I was on all those panels, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I haven't even been at the booth, but I feel like I'm everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm really the face and voice of Real Nerds Podcast,
Nice.
so it's really important for me to be out there and mingling with people.
It's very important.
Because who else is going to sit at a table and not say anything for an hour? I mean, who are they going to get to do that? It's got to be me, right?
It's true.
It's really true.
Nobody looks quite as dapper in the shirt. That's
that's true. Thank you, James. Thank you so
I
much.
was telling people about your show at your booth while you were gone.
Oh, really?
Thank you,
Oh,
Cora.
well, then we'll hire you
I
next
think
year.
Brad was the only one who was here, and James, I think you were
That
talking
sounds
to
about
somebody, and he
Yeah.
was listening to your audio, and so somebody came up. I started talking to him yesterday.
Thank you so much.
It was awesome.
And I saw Michael doing it today. He was over there talking to some guy.
Yep.
Yep.
So you know what?
Yep.
You guys like our interns.
Yes.
The experience is the pay you're getting.
Yeah.
Putting this on my
Yes.
resume.
You should. It'll get you far.
It's awesome.
Next year we'll have you taking like cosplay photos and running all over the place and
I could
watermarking
be a
stuff.
Oh,
correspondent.
she didn't. She just went there, boys.
Man.
I went there.
You know what? I'm going to start signing off your emails that way.
I
From
like
our
it.
correspondent.
Yes.
That was awesome. Why
That
did we
was
ever
good.
think of that? Because we're not as creative?
Actually, Brad or Ryan, you've said that before.
Yeah.
You've
yeah,
called
it's
called
true.
her the correspondent in Durango.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
but I was just playing
so
along
much
because I
shit
thought
comes
it was
out of my
funny.
mouth. I don't even know what it is sometimes.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I
it's
mean?
true. It's true.
I love it. So thanks for everybody who liked us on Facebook this week, followed us on Twitter this week. Claire Kramer.
Nice.
Joe Kelly from Man of Action retweeted us and stuff. So
Yeah.
I love Joe Kelly.
Absolutely.
Such a nice guy.
Also, take a second to thank George Gianti, Zach Howard, and Joe Kelly for helping us with a little video project we're working on.
We can't tell you what it is yet, but
if
just
they're
know that
listening-
it is very epic, and that those guys would take time to be in our goofy shit is awesome.
Well, in addition to that, can you hear that?
And here comes the overhead thing. We have another visitor.
Okay.
Does anyone have a card for him? That's guys. I didn't hear that specifically. What was it?
The con actually just closed. What?
So we're officially at the end of the con.
Yeah,
That's
the
what the
con
voice
is now
was?
done.
Did they announce any guests for next year?
No,
No, they didn't
Smart.
know.
Smart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smart.
they learned, but we did hear that it's going to be Batman themed.
Oh, so I won't
Stay
be coming.
tuned. 2014.
Aw.
No, I'm
Why
just
is
kidding.
it Spider-Man?
Maybe
Spider-Man's
they'll
such
get
a more
Michael
popular.
Huesland back.
Oh,
be really
yeah.
cool.
We gotta
I bet they
Uslan.
can get him back.
We got to get the use back.
Yeah, get him on the
And,
show.
and thank for everybody who sat down on our show.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say. In addition to thanking those guys for being on our video, Joe Kelly, George Gianti, Ben Templesmith,
Fiona Staples.
Fiona Staples, absolutely,
Nice.
and Mike Raich, all of whom came and sat down at the booth and did an interview with us. They are fantastic. Austin Harrison and Zach Howard, who are both writing on that book with Mike Raich, are also so wonderful and were great, really flexible with us as we had a few technical difficulties yesterday, but we got through it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you to everybody and anybody who came up to the table and or sat down with us. If you just said hi, if you took a card and you're listening now, thank you so much. You made the convention so much fun this year.
Absolutely. So thank you. That was our fan. That was like our pat on our own back, though. That really
Yeah.
wasn't fan. But hey, thank you.
Yeah,
to everybody.
and all of that stuff you're gonna hear. Well, for the most part, all of it you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to listen to that Fiona Staples interview. Man,
I was
Brad,
bummed I
wasn't
wasn't
that
around.
amazing? That was so good.
That was impressive. It's going to be
dude.
something special when I put it up.
It was yeah,
So very cool.
really great. Thank you.
So we're going to go into the rest of our show. Are you guys sticking around or you got to go?
We saw the movie, so
Cool.
sure.
Awesome.
Why,
Sweet.
why
Then
not?
yeah, stick
Yeah,
around.
stick around.
It's
And
only
you're-
parking charges that we're worried about at this point, and
Yeah.
getting,
It's
already
and getting
passed.
home late. So whatevs.
Cool. And now it's a time of the podcast that I enjoy so much. Stuff we've been watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Because Denver Comic Con happened, I kind of had a light week. I was able to watch a couple things. I was able to watch Joyride, which the reason I picked up this DVD is it's a horror movie written by J.J. Abrams, and he wrote it a long time ago. It stars Paul Walker, Steve Zahn, and Lily Sobieski.
Oh, yeah.
Sobieski.
Sobieski.
And she's it's them driving across country, and they're flirting with a brother. Two brothers are flirting, pretending they're a girl, flirting with a truck driver. And so it becomes a thriller because the truck driver gets a message that says, Paul Walker says, "Oh, come meet Candy Cane at this hotel, this different hotel room," because they met this other guy who was a dick. So that truck driver shows up at that hotel room and kills the guy in that hotel room because he was tricked into thinking that it was a woman. And so the rest of the movie is that guy chasing them across Colorado to get back at him for playing a trick on him. And the movie's not bad. Like it's early 2000s thriller, so it's not the greatest, but there's a great scene of the truck chasing him through a cornfield, so it has nice ambiance to it. The banter between the two brothers is really good.
Are the characters well built for a horror movie?
Yeah, because there's only 3 characters really in the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
And Steve Zahn, and of course actually Paul Walker's pretty good in it too. They have a good rapport. Then there's some funny moments apart. It's not like really. It's more of a character kind of thriller because there's those people are on the screen so long that they have to have fleshed out characters, and
yeah,
I enjoyed it. Whatever. It's kind of fun. I also saw a movie that Wes Craven made right after Scream. It's called Cursed, and it's a werewolf movie.
Has Christina Ricci in it, right?
It has Christina Ricci in it, and
that's
Jesse Eisenberg.
Or no, Wes Anderson.
Wes Craven. And written by Kevin Williamson. And I guess in the theaters it was released as PG-13. I got the unrated version of it on DVD. As the only one I know that existed. I don't know. It was whatever. It's not too bad. The werewolf stuff is done by Rick Baker and KMB, so the practical stuff's really cool. The coolest part in it is Shannon Elizabeth is in it, and she gets attacked by the werewolf, and she gets ripped in half and thrown across the screen, and she drags her body across the screen. The rest of it is meh. Jesse Eisenberg and Christina Ricci both get bit by this werewolf, so they start changing into a werewolf. So it's kind of like Teen Wolf for a new generation, I guess. Because instead of playing basketball, Jesse Eisenberg wrestles this kid in school, and I think the biggest problem with the movie is it doesn't know if it wants to be a comedy horror or a straight-up horror movie, because it treats the material like, these people are being ripped apart by a monster, but then at the end, the werewolf is in this nightclub, and it turns out that it's a lady on Arrested Development. I forget the actress's name, where her nipples go the wrong way. She got a bad boob job. Anyways, so yeah. She turns and she goes away and hides when all the police show up. And Christina Ricci says, well, she has bad hair. She has a big butt. And so the werewolf comes out and she's like, fuck you, bitch. And wait, what? This doesn't make any sense in this movie. And
weird.
It was all right. I mean, it was gory. Have you seen it, Brad?
I just remember the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, I think it made $5 million at the box office.
Yeah, I just remember a lot from my days working at Blockbuster. I'd see that cover and be like, that looks schlocky.
Yeah, it is. It capitalized on that whole teen horror thing. And the next thing I watched, we'll probably segue into James, is I watched the first 6 episodes of Arrested Development on Netflix, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw the first 5. It's totally. You didn't see them at all, did you, Brett?
No, I didn't.
So we're not going to spoil anything. I think it's really good. They're funny. It's tonally a little bit different, and I'm really excited to finish the season and then go look back on it, because I think it might just be brilliant.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they're doing sort of one story for every character, and as it goes forward, it gets funnier and funnier and funnier, because they are each story sort of changes the way you look at the previous story.
Yeah.
So when you rewatch it, I think you're going to pick up on things that are actually running jokes through the whole season, that are completely new jokes, that are things that they came up with. It's really interesting.
I think you have to watch them again.
Yeah, you can see that it was conceived of as a whole piece, which in television is very unusual.
Yeah.
And an unusual thing to watch. The first one I saw, which is the first one is a George Michael or a Michael episode.
That's great.
And it's funny, but I was never laughing out loud. I was mostly just entertained. And then by the third one, I was howling.
Yeah. There's great little bits that when Ron Howard comes on and he he's saying Michael Bluth, and he
Yeah.
goes, he like clears his throat because he's getting back into it. There's a great couple throwaway scenes in the first one. Michael is living with George Michael at college, and George Michael is in the shower in the dorm room, and then Michael gets into the same shower as him. Stuff like that's really funny. And then you watch a couple episodes later, and all of a sudden you see that Buster's in the background of some things, and
Yeah. And there are some scenes where, like, later you'll see that there's more to that scene
Yeah.
than you saw the first time. Like, the first time it's seamless. You think it's just one short scene, and then the next episode, that same scene is twice as long because there's a whole section with a different character.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of it. I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's good, and part of it is they're held back by the fact that people's schedules meant that they couldn't have everybody in every episode. So maybe when they do a second season, they're going to be able to get everybody together for some parts and really have something that feels more like the older Arrested Development. But if not, I think this is good too. It's all icing on a cake. You know? It's the same way I felt about Futurama. Like, anything we get out of this series now is great.
Yeah.
Because it's not, as long as they don't mess with the old series somehow, it's it's
I agree.
good.
Anything else you watched, James?
No. I'm still watching lots and lots of Dick Van Dyke, and it's
for you.
still great.
It is.
And I was trying to watch Robin Hood. For some reason, it sort of slipped through the cracks, but
The Russell Crowe one?
yeah, the Russell Crowe one. It's one of those Ridley Scott movies that I'd never seen, and
It's
then
shot
it was
well.
it was at Walmart. I got off of work, and I was like, I'm gonna go to Walmart and buy some food and stuff, and just happened to see it there. And I'm about halfway through, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm
shot
not-
well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of the con, it got cut in half. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I saw this week.
Brad?
I didn't watch a lot either. I finished the rest of the Kitchen Nightmares that's available on Netflix, and let me save everyone the trouble of writing into Gordon Ramsay to save their restaurant. If your restaurant has bad food, lazy chef, weak manager, and slow service, there's your problem right there. Because that's the same problem every restaurant on every episode of that show, UK and US, has. They don't know that they
Big
have bad
menu.
food. Yeah.
Big menu is something. Or you're bundling that in with bad food.
Yeah, it's part of the chef's job.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
So,
Because I feel like maybe half of the episode.
yeah, the lazy chef is ordering non-natural food, making huge abundant menus. So yeah, lazy chef, ineffective manager.
Yeah.
Can't direct people, can't make decisions. Yeah, all across the board. So there you go.
No, you're right.
That's how you save a kitchen. Correct those 4 problems. So yeah, that's it for me.
I did watch one more thing. I'm sorry. I saw Real Nerds Pod Show at
Oh my God, guys!
Open
that's
Screen
right.
Night. It went over really well. We won't spoil what it is because Brad's going to post it online. But people were laughing, and that's the most important thing.
Yep.
So it was fun. You can check out the trailer on our website.
We had people here who visited the booth today tell us, they were there Tuesday and they saw it and they
I
enjoyed
had
it.
someone say they want to see the next. They can't. Oh, it was Arthur said you guys keep on making videos. So
Yeah, he told me I'm a pretty good actor.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
he said-
like,
he said you
okay.
need to keep acting.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. Okay.
you're natural. That's why.
Thanks.
So yeah, we'll work on that.
Cool.
Well, apparently I have nothing to work on. I'm already pretty good.
I'm at the
I'm gonna
show,
go to Hollywood next
dipshit.
week, guys.
Nice. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Hello, Real Nerds listeners. I'm Mac,
And I'm Idiot Chittix.
and we're here to tell you to visit SphrixesDomain.com. Why should you visit SphrixesDomain.com?
Well, it's simple. If you like farts and cartoons and bad words and stuff, you should definitely visit SphrixesDomain.com.
How do you spell that address I see?
What? I don't know. Fucking S something. I don't know. I'm incontinent. I have no idea.
Fine, I'll do it. S-P-H-E-R-S.
Sure. Oh, God. Seriously, you can
X.
spell the whole thing out. Oh, God. Just say the domain part. I don't want to be here all night. Jesus. Does it get any more of a complicated website name? Stupid assholes first. Jeez.
Anyway, visit our website where you can read about all the funny adventures of 7 aliens struggling to live together in an abandoned warehouse in Denver.
Well, what? That's it? What? It doesn't say anything about my crazy hijinks or antics or... Ridiculous.
Nope, that's all Svirks wrote down.
Well, that doesn't sound funny at all. But you know what does sound funny? Gross.
Oh man, I'm hungry
God.
again.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Oh. Sparks is gonna be pissed when he sees what you did to his office.
Hey, what are you guys doing in my office? It smells like puke and farts in here.
Go to SparksDomain.com. Bye.
Circusdomain.com.
My man spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh no, the teal troll is attacking me.
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Hey, box office numbers.
This is the box office stats.
Surprise, surprise, guys. Fast and Furious 6 led the box office with 121 over the whole weekend, but 70
it's
million.
surprising.
Actually,
For me.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I think it is surprising. I would have thought Hangover.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not. The first one, the last one did so well. I think it built up enough goodwill where people were excited to see it.
So then the next one's gonna bomb.
Well, dude, they have the Stathman in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, of course, thank you, Box Office Mojo, for all your box office numbers. Looks like The Hangover 3 might not do very well. Well, I mean, $70 million, I guess. Whatever. Still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when it costs $135 million, I guess that's not. Cool. Thanks, Box Office Mojo. I would do Blu-ray and DVD releases, but I don't have them.
Yeah, and we don't have internet here.
And I don't think there's anything good coming out.
I think Good Day to Die Hard comes out next week.
The what?
Oh, you think?
I think.
He thinks a good day to die hard next.
Oh, you're right. It is a good day to die
If
hard.
you're looking forward to that.
If you're looking forward to that.
Which you shouldn't be.
You know what? Just click on Digital Bits and go on to their website and click on stuff you like and buy through there so you can give them money.
Yeah.
Because it's a cool website.
Scroll all the way to the bottom, see if there's a shark movie for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Do you have any real news either, Jim?
It's real news.
Yes, I don't have a lot. I don't have my notes with me, and we've been here all weekend. The one thing that I know for sure is that yesterday, Matt Smith announced that he is leaving Doctor Who, so they're going to
That's
have
right.
to find another Doctor Who, which, you know what, I am fine with. You know, the part of the fun of that show is that every couple of years they can get rid of one actor and sort of reboot that character, and I think he's had a really great run on the show. So, yeah, you know, it's sad to see him go, but it was sad to see David Tennant go as well. So,
But I'm sure they'll continue on. They'll find somebody.
Yeah, they're going to find somebody who's going to take a completely new spin on it, and I think that's always a fun part of the show. Anyway, is once they change that Doctor and it kind of becomes fresh again. But yeah, and there was other stuff this week, but we don't have our notes.
Yeah,
in
the
front
only
of us.
thing
We'll
I
talk
know
about it
for
next week.
sure is that they found a director for the Leprechaun reboot.
Oh, that's right.
And he
yes.
he was on Spielberg's show where they were picking directors or something. I don't know what show it was, but he's like one of Spielberg's guys.
Cool.
On his show. So
It's funny to me because, of course, when you were watching all those Leprechaun movies, we actually talked about, like, hey, you know, could they reboot this series? Like, what would they do? What would it look like? And of course, okay, here's the game we'll play, Ryan. I'm a new director and I'm going to pick up an old series, but let me tell you, don't worry about it. This time, I'm going to make my version blank. What's the word you fill in there that every other guy who's rebooting a series says?
Darker?
Yes, it is. It is darker. This one's, we're not going to have any puns.
No
we're
wise
just gonna have,
cracking leprechaun?
Yeah, we're just going to have leprechauns flying at your face.
Nice.
Whatever.
Works for me.
Okay. Does it have a Warwick Davis? Maybe Warwick Davis will show up and like get
No,
killed by the
it's
leprechaun.
some other dude.
No, I mean
Yeah.
not as the leprechaun. Like he'll just like be walking down the street, and all of a sudden the
No,
leprechaun
because
will
that would
attack
be
Warwick
dark.
Davis. Oh, you're right.
That'd be too tongue-in-cheek.
That'd be too kitsch.
Yeah, that's about it. I really don't think there's anything else. I've been looking every once in a while. I haven't seen anything.
Whoopi Goldberg might be in the next Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes, that's
I don't-
great.
I haven't had time to check up on that one.
That's what they
Fact-checked
said.
it. Yeah, we'll see. That's weird.
Sassy boss.
I mean,
Maybe.
Brad still thinks that
She's
movie's
Irma.
not going to happen.
Maybe Irma. If they're like doing a black Irma.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Remember April's friend from the cartoon show who's like got the
No.
glasses and
Oh,
because Will Arnett's playing Vernon.
okay.
Never mind.
I don't know the show that well. to
Move
know.
along.
Yeah.
Fuck this
Comic
world.
book corner.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
I'm going to say for Comic Book Corner this week that Denver Comic Con and everybody at Denver Comic Con really helped us out. We really appreciate people who sat down and talked to us. Because I didn't have time to read comics this week. So
No, none of us did.
support Comic Book Classroom. Like them on Facebook. You can donate to their cause. That helps kids through reading through comic books. It's a great cause.
And not even just reading, teaches them to be creative, teaches
Yep.
them to helps them learn to draw
And
all
how to-
kinds
yeah,
of
how to
things
make
that they
comic
can do
books.
with comics.
So
it's fantastic.
Comic Book Classroom, reading and drawing and writing comic books. It's a good thing. Like them on
Absolutely.
Facebook. So this week we saw a movie with Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, a Zombieland reunion. Now You See Me. Should people go see Now You See Me, folks?
Not in the theater.
Rent it, maybe.
Brad?
You know, I fell asleep 5 times, so my opinion's invalid.
Brad falls asleep in the theater like this. So you never really know if he's asleep or not.
I knew he was asleep, but it was Friday night, and I knew we weren't going to get a lot of sleep that night anyway, so I didn't wake him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James?
There's a part of me that thinks I might need to see it again before I can be fair, but I wouldn't say that it's certainly not great. You might rent it because I think it's interesting. It's one of those movies that you and I were sort of talking about afterwards. I don't know if that's how you feel, but I feel like it's interesting, and a lot of it is done well, but it never quite hits a nerve with me. You know, it would be really unfair to call it stillborn, but that's the way it feels.
Wow.
Me personally, I thought it was boring. I saw all the twists coming. It didn't excite me at all watching it.
You saw the big twist coming too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So to me, it was exciting, and I don't even think you should rent it. I think it's not that good of a movie.
Okay.
Here's the trailer for it.
Come in close, because the more you think you see, the easier it'll be to fool you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
For our final trick.
we are going to rob a bank.
On the count of 3, you will be teleported through space and time to your bank in Paris. 1, 2,
3. Everyone in this room was a victim of hard times.
Some of you lost your homes, your cars.
And so tonight,
We're going to return some of that money back to you.
Can you explain to me how you went from Las Vegas to Paris in 3 seconds?
What do the kids call it these days? Oh, magic. First rule of magic, always be the smartest guy in the room.
Your bank was the distraction, while they set up the real trick.
Expose them now and destroy them.
Hang on. I got nothing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the delay.
Whatever this grand trick is, it was designed a long time ago. And I believe that what's about to follow is really going to amaze. Look closely. Because the closer you think you are, the less you'll actually see.
How many times do you guys see that trailer? I swear I saw the trailer like 800 times.
I
we
really
saw
got tired of it.
before just about every other movie we've seen since April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the premise of the movie is these magicians are so cool, and they got the greatest trick of all time. But the trick is in 3 acts. So right away, the film is gonna, you know how the film's gonna be paced. So it's gonna be 1 act, it's gonna be 2 acts, then you're gonna go to the climax. Right away, that sucks me out of the moment because I'm like, well, there's no suspense at all for this film. And Louis Leterrier, his direction was driving me crazy the whole film because the camera would always be swooping from one way to the other side, from the other side up and down. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to vomit all over James in this theater. And I was asking him, I don't know, maybe you guys can answer this too. Does his other movies have that? Like, I don't remember that in The Incredible Hulk.
No.
Where it was like constantly moving.
I haven't seen that.
I think he was trying to go for like a sort of sleight of hand cinematography thing, where everything always felt like you it was moving and you weren't seeing everything that was going on, if that makes sense.
One of our friends who actually really liked the movie was explaining to us that part of the cinematography of it is that the whole movie is the distraction. The whole movie is the assistant from the actual twist, and the actual Mark Ruffalo is the star and the whole thing. But meh.
And I did see that. Like there was a part in the movie where I was bored, and I was like, "Why am I bored?" And I thought, "Oh, I know why I'm bored, because I don't care about any of the magicians."
Yes,
it's a story about the magicians, but they're not the main character. The main character is this bumbling buffoon who's chasing after them, and I know why. It's because, spoilers, in the end, he ends up being the mastermind of the whole thing. And okay, that's interesting, and it's a cool take, but when you tell the story that way, you're keeping the audience at a distance and not letting us get in. And so if I can't get into the movie, then I don't give a shit about the reveal. And yes, it's kind of cool that that's who the main character was, but I don't like him. I don't like that guy.
You know how in grade school when they tell you in creative writing, don't write stories that end with and then he woke up from a dream.
Yeah.
That's how this movie felt for me. It's not that he woke up from a dream, but just there's just this addendum to surprise.
It's like, none of it was real, what? And you're like, okay, so then what was the point?
And what kind of jail cell did they put Morgan Freeman's character in the end?
Right?
I'm like, where is he? Is he
he was in a French jail cell.
Yeah, he was in a French jail cell, in the bottom of the Seine River or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
just could not connect with the movie at all. I kept on trying to get on board with it, and I couldn't do it.
It's like, how bad of a guy really is Morgan Freeman?
He's not.
To put him in jail?
He just became the hated villain all of a sudden, and it didn't seem like he did anything that was that bad, really. And all of a sudden, he's being vilified.
Yeah, they sort of said he sort of said some bad things and made this guy do a trick that he couldn't do, and the guy died.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, I mean that's shitty, but maybe that guy shouldn't be doing crazy, dangerous tricks where he locks himself in a safe.
Or he
and
should have
drops into
tested the
ocean.
safe first before he put it in the water.
Yeah,
he's not gonna test. He's like, all right, lock me up, guys.
Yeah,
and there's the whole the safe falls apart. There's that giveaway. It was silly. It was silly and kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I wanted more from the characters. Like, if they had set up that foursome better of the magicians, maybe, or if they had teased the eye, the big underground thing, if they teased that a little bit earlier, so we knew that they were working towards something, and we even cared about them, that would have made more sense.
Oh my God, you just wrote a way better movie. What if the whole time we're following following them, and we're totally in on the fact, the whole movie, we're in on the fact that they don't know whether or not this is going to work. But then there's this whole, they know about the eye, and they're thinking, like, well, maybe this is real, maybe there's not, and it's this whole leap of faith, and Mark Ruffalo is chasing them, and they're like, we got to get away from this guy, and he keeps almost getting them.
And he's not acting like an idiot.
Yeah, and he's not acting like an idiot, he's an actual villain, and then at the end, they reveal that it's him the whole time, and that he's sort of been the thing pushing them and like testing them to make sure that they will actually do it the right way, and that's the reveal. Oh my god, it was totally a point of view problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a much better movie.
I mean, the one scene that I did enjoy was when he was trying to get James Franco, and he was, throwing the cards at him. Dave Franco. Yeah, the same thing.
One of them Francos.
The Franco boys. He was dodging, throwing cards. And I'm like, this is kind of cool.
That
and then
was
it went to a really long car chase scene that was stupid.
It was not very interesting.
And I wasn't shocked
so
that he was
outlandish
still alive.
that you knew he was still alive, and that car wreck was so sort of outlandish. Like if he had blown up way before Mark Ruffalo had gotten to him, you would have been okay with it. But the fact that he gets there and there's like a dummy in there, and he can't see that it's not really Dave Franco.
Yeah,
just went a little too far.
Yeah, it was just dumb. I just couldn't get into it. I kept on trying to because we should expect every movie to be good.
So we went to Alamo Drafthouse to see Now You See Me. Took some friends with us who are now addicted. But what happened was the movie was delayed for maybe 5 minutes, and the manager came in and she's like, "Oh, we'll get you rain checks because of the delay." And we're like, "Wait, what?" So when they brought us our ticket for all of our food and stuff, we got free movie passes.
Oh, sweet.
And so we'll be back up in July, I think. We're planning July.
Yeah.
So we can go to the Renaissance Fair also.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And then we'll be back at Alamo Drafthouse because we got free tickets.
Well,
so that was the upside of going to see this movie.
Absolutely. So, when you're back up here, we'll see a movie together. You come back on the show. If you want. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's not amazing.
So, as somebody who missed a lot of it, is this how the story panned out? Because I'm not sure I want to go back and watch the movie again to find out what I missed.
Don't.
But so they get these tarot cards and they go to an apartment, and then they just have to become a team without any work.
A
year passed.
Yeah, they
I
have
missed
to.
that.
They say a year later. Like they go in the apartment and then they see some trick, and they're like, "Who's doing this?" It's like 1 year later, the Four Horsemen are at the MGM Grand.
Yeah, so then they're in Vegas, and then they're friends with Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine's their benefactor.
Then I fell asleep, and then they're out to screw Michael Caine, and then they're friends with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And then I fall asleep, and then Morgan Freeman's in jail, and they screwed over Morgan Freeman.
You missed a little bit, for sure.
Okay.
So Michael Caine was their benefactor, and then there's a scene where they're on an airplane and they're talking to him, and it's so hammy and poorly written, but they're clearly trying to get basic information out of him.
They got his passwords and stuff.
Uncle, yeah. So they get his passwords, and then they do a trick where they steal all of his money. And while they're doing the trick, they talk about the fact that
of course you'd have $140 million just with your mother's last name is the password.
Right.
And do they ever explain the trick? Because they explain some of their tricks. Did they ever explain how they got Isla Fisher to float in a bubble?
No, magic.
Okay, magic. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
CGI.
Well, and here's the thing. I want to give it on the magic thing. I want to give it some room because I think it takes it takes sort of an illusionist stance at that stuff where it does CG magic in order to replicate for us the way that somebody would be wowed by seeing it in real life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if they had done a real magic trick with a bubble, we might have seen the wires and all of that. So they were trying to make you feel like you were the audience. I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. But anyway, so in doing that, they reveal that he's an insurance guy, and then later they reveal that his insurance company had defrauded that guy's the guy who drowned in the safe.
Yeah,
they defrauded his family.
Who is Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles, by the way?
I know.
Was it just his picture, or was he ever in the movie?
Yeah, he's never in the movie.
He must have had a deleted scene or something.
Huh.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Well, so long story short, go see The Prestige.
Yeah. Or even The Illusionist. I think The Illusionist is way better than this is.
The Prestige is by far our favorite magic-y movie.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Because it has characters that you care about and you want to see what happens to them and you like them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, all these magicians just seem really smug and like they could do no wrong.
Yeah.
But in that first scene when they meet in the hallway, I was like, I like these characters. I'm cool with these guys. And then they basically disappear for the next third of the movie.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And we don't really learn anything about them or how they work together. Because when you meet them originally, it's like these guys aren't going to be able to work together very well. And then all of a sudden, they're this great four horsemen. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, maybe a better movie, too, would be like how they build up to this trick and they're like working on this trick.
Yeah.
And then it goes to how the climax is all the tricks they're doing, not this lame.
And you wouldn't even have to skip a year.
Burt Wonderstone is way better.
Yeah, Burt Wonderstone is a better movie about magic. You wouldn't even have to skip a year. You could very easily say, like, just have Jesse Eisenberg's character, who is already sort of a street magician, kind of a Chris Angel guy, like, have him have some connection where he can be like, I'm going to call in all my favors and we'll get a one-day show at Las Vegas, So you don't have to do this, like, well, they've been running this show and getting popular for a year. Like, it's bullshit. It doesn't actually, you don't need that part.
Yep. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that movie. Anything to add about Now You See Me?
No, that was pretty conclusive.
Awesome.
Well, you understood, Brad, the part about, like, Morgan Freeman was, the guy who got the other guy killed, and that's why, like, they turned it around on him.
Yeah, he ran a company that didn't check the aluminum that made the safe.
No, that was a safe company. They steal a safe at the end, and they do that.
Oh, he glorified his death? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then the safe thing was about the fact that, like, they steal a safe at the end, and that is redeemable or whatever, or okay, because the safe company made a shoddy safe that guy died in, and that's why.
Yeah, I don't care.
He was done. I just wanted you to understand. It might bug you. I didn't want you to lose sleep over it.
I didn't. I did not. I was just curious.
So you can tweet us at @real_nerds. You can call us 720-6nerds5. Hey, Cora, what's our email address?
realnerds@gmail.com.
What's our website?
realnerds.com.
No. Podcast.com.
Ooh, that's right. It's on my...
It's all right.
It's on my bookmarks. I don't ever type it in.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was a setup.
It was a setup.
Bitch.
Totally. You can call us. We already talked about that one, 720-6nerds5.
Ooh, I know that.
You do. You did it very well at the beginning of the show. We appreciate it. Next week we're seeing This Is the End.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be the end of the show.
Yeah. I also want to see The Purge, so hopefully I'll try to get 2 in.
The reason that Brad brings that up because next week will also be our 2-year anniversary, 104 episodes.
Yes.
Yay.
Well,
yes.
Is it? Or is 105 the anniversary? Because 104 is episode 52 of Volume 2.
Okay, so it's 105.
No, but it's still 252s is 104. 52 times 2 is 104.
Yeah, but it's still that week, though. So, like, there's 52 weeks in the year, but you need to go through that whole 52nd week before you start over.
Oh, I see. So the beginning of Season 3...
Yeah, will be whatever movie comes on the 14th.
Yeah. Well, but it would still be the end
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. Oh, it's awesome.
We would still have 2 years under... Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. We did 100 episodes.
Yeah. So we'll see. This is the end. Until next time... Thank you, Cora Michael, for being on the Real Nerds podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Denver Comic Con. Thanks to all the guests who sat down on us. Thanks to my niece Taylor, my beautiful wife Laura, our friend Joe, for helping us out this weekend. Until next week, bye.
And real quick, also support Aurora Rise and Comic Book Classroom because they are fantastic, fantastic charities.
That's true.
And thank you, Denver Comic Con, for being so gracious and allowing us to do this.
Yeah. They've been so great.
And Tsunami.
They really have.
They have.
Tsunami publicity. Thanks
Tsunami
for hooking us up.
Yeah, they got us that interview with Fiona Staples. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. They brought it to her attention.
Yeah.
So great job. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.